welcome to some One Piece action. So we have our Robin build, right? As you can see, primarily Zoro Joro starts the early game, but we have that other Zoro just so we can get a free 6k swing and develop board. The key pieces are 6-drop Zoro, 6-drop Robin, and 8-drop Kid. So essentially, people are going to counter out of our leader swings. Every time we're swinging, whack, whack, whack. We ramp, we get on the even curve, right? Get to the even curve. If we get a lucky situation, like if you go second, you have Zoro Joro, you use your Robin leader, then next turn Zoro, you ramp the whole turn, so that's wonderful, right? But you primarily just want to get yourself to the even curve. So this build essentially doesn't require your leader to be chucking multiple cards. You might just end up chucking one card at most, outside of any other type of necessity, right? Like if you're playing your events early and you're going down by 2, and you're using your leader to offset the down -2. So that, in that context is circumstantial. But anyway, yes, with your early leader swings, your opponent is more than likely to be countering out, right? You get to your 6th Dawn turn and you're playing Nico Robin, which automatically burns a life, or you're playing Zoro, 6k swing with Banish. Very powerful situation. What that creates with Zoro is that you have another body to swing with. So in the event that you need to be aggressive against the opponent's board, you can. Or if you need to be aggressive towards the opponent's life, you can. Why? Because to face 2 Banish attributes is extremely taxing to the opponent. Then, because it's even curve and it just flows so nicely, you have 8-drop Kid, which just auto burns a life, and then you get to cycle if your opponent's at 2 life. So the natural order of things is essentially you're going to virtually guarantee burn 3 life, because there's only so many times it can counter out of a leader swing. There's only so many times it can counter out if you got leader and Zoro, 6-drop that is. And Robin is burning the life for free until they get down to 2, while Kid is just simply burning the life for free. The cherry on top, is that right? Or just extra seasoning? Well, it is Onami. See, Onami gives that banish text to anything else. So if we just really needed it, we can just provide banish to another character and just really make it extremely taxing for the opponent. Now, in a little bit of an overall sense, this is Straw Hat dependent. So Onami, Zoro, Robin, they're easily plucked. But we are using the event to search. We really want to make sure we get 8-drop Kid and not bottom deck him. So that is important to us. Or this is a unique, I appreciate that. This is a unique Yamato build, huh? I like when the people think outside the box. I really do. I think that's important. Because like I said, essentially if you're building the deck that pretty much the same way that everybody else builds it, you're pretty much going to get the same results. Ooh, countering out. Now we do need our top end, so maybe it would have been better to take that damage. Yeah, see, we haven't gotten to our top end yet. And we still have 4 life. And we keep in mind, we are using banish, so. Oh, he gets to remove up to 2. We probably should have removed the 2, and then we could have used Zoro Joro to gain an active Dawn. That's how I feel right now. Yes, we could have just popped 2, been at 9 Dawn, did this swing, and got 1 active. So it would have been 4 Dawn to play. We could have swung for 8 right here, but 7 is a healthy number regardless. So yeah, you see the effectiveness, just having extra banish. We're still at 4 life. That's crazy. I mean, at some point we have to take the hit. I don't. Oh, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get it. Either that was a misclick. That had to be a misclick. That's it. Unless they think we got some sort of like shenanigans to. Nah, we're not at the threshold. That would have been a very advantageous play, but we're not at that threshold. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go for the Zoro and they went for Onami. Unless they thought we was going to put Onami back in life. They got another swing. See, yeah, that's still smart on the opponent. I don't think we need the Onami, especially since we're going to have to attack board at this point in this current game state. Okay, so we're going to keep the Onami and get rid of the Zoro. Oh, this is a bit of a chore. We're just seeing no top end. Okay, so unless our opponent starts playing blocker, it looks like we're gonna put them in complete lethal territory. But they have so many swings right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it's just 2 Dawn, and then the rest of the characters can just attack. Make sure, yeah, at least leave something for Zoro to just take out Onami. Cool. Okay, all 3. Oh, we're going for game. I didn't know. Wow. I thought we was okay. That was clearly going for game was the better play. So yeah, I definitely want to revisit what's it called, Yamato. We have a Nami build that we actually have to play and see if we get some footage. We just haven't gotten around to getting the footage for it. Well, so we have, we're at what? 2. Okay, so we're on the even curve right now. So you see next turn, that's it, just getting to the even curve is what's actually important. So you see next turn is just the game really starts for us. To be honest, it seems like we might have room for a different ramp system, because to be honest, Zoro is slow. Obviously you got to wait the next turn, but at least the Dawn is active when you swing, so you get to use it that turn. So it's up to y'all if y'all feel like there's room for modifications in that territory. But a lot of times, especially if you're going first, and going first gives you the attack, so there is an advantage in going first. You're just looking to ramp that 1 Dawn. Once you're on the even curve, that's it. You're too quickly hitting 6 Dawn. It's not like you need to be at 8, so you jump a whole turn. And obviously this is like a huge kryptonite for Nami. I mean, this is literally a complete counter, essentially. And since traditional Nami decks don't really play characters, look at this. There's nothing Nami can do about it. Traditional Nami decks don't play characters. What I mean by that is their front board isn't really meant to do anything. It's all about their events. Their events for defense and draw and blah, blah, blah. So unless Nami's going to go crazy with the Dawn stack and swing, which means we should be mindful on protecting our Zoros. So all our counter power should go to protecting Zoro. That's crazy. That's crazy. All that for... Well, it doesn't matter. I probably would have... I was thinking of playing the blocker just to try to see some new cards. We don't really have counter power, but the game state is obviously in complete lethal territory here, so it doesn't even matter. We have too much on the board already, so we don't need to look for counter power or anything. The best thing we could have tried to pluck is we can pop the blocker. We don't even need it. We have too many attacks. Go ahead. Oh, well, swinging for 8 or 9 is the debate. I mean, we have plenty of Dawn. Another 8 swing would probably encourage the same result. That's funny. And does this give us the game? Oh, wow. Yeah, the best we can do considering we couldn't pump our leader. This had to be such a poor quality experience for the Nami player. Wow. And you still with notice this, with no triggers whatsoever, no life cards whatsoever, they still managed to get their deck down to 13 cards. Is that not crazy? It basically tells us they would have probably completely steamrolled us or won if they just got access to those cards from trigger. I mean, I didn't pay attention to every card. Obviously, if it was a Sanji's Pilaf or one of the those Impel Down events from triggers, yeah, they probably could have pulled the game out. No, they essentially would have needed all the cards to be triggers, and even then, they would have about 3 cards left in their deck. So they would actually need defensive event triggers. So they wouldn't have one anyway unless they had defensive event triggers, and then that could essentially change the battle. And I do mean, I don't know. So here's Doflamingo. The most consistent deck in the meta, I guess. Definitely the most used, and they choose to just let the first life get banished. Now, the interesting thing about this matchup is Dofi's known for having lots of life towards the later half of the game because of the board presence that he establishes. But with this banish system, it's kind of funny because it's like, yeah, you're not going to have access to those resources. So you're more reliant on your engine now than ever. Banish is just a thorn in any deck's side. Yeah, they're more than likely going to counter out of this one. There's too many cards in your hand. We establish Zoro. So the benefit of establishing Zoro first before playing Robin is because he's slower, right? So usually you want the immediate reward. You want to just get things done quickly, right? But because of the situation, the circumstances, and the setup, essentially you want to establish your Zoro first, so it's a threat. Then you have Robin in the cut. So if you get the opponent in a situation where they hit 3 life, because right now you see they have 4, if we get them in a situation where they hit 3 life, then we can just comfortably play Robin, burn that life before we no longer meet the threshold to be able to do this. Ooh, see, this is the power of Doflamingo. Look how fat the board is, no diddy. And we gotta essentially deal with the board, I would say, right? That's usually tradition. Okay, we burn 1 life. We get rid of blocker. Okay, I respect it. And we're going for lead. Interesting. And this should encourage a card out of hand. Okay. Now I do feel like we should attack board. It's a complete gamble in my opinion. There we go. I'm like, if you're attacking lead, that's a complete gamble because they got board to just really be aggressive. Oh, the negative behind that Blackbeard is kind of funny, right? So yes, Blackbeard is a very solid, strong card to use for Doflamingo, but the risk behind the Blackbeard is that because it comes from your hand, essentially you're going down. You're not maintaining your hand size. There you go. You're not maintaining your hand size, so it kind of helps us in a weird way. Now we still have Robin. In my mind, I figured chucking Robin for leader ability to offset the Don we lost from playing that event was the thing to do. But at the end of the day, we're at 8 Don. We burn, so there we go. We do get the reward behind burning another life. It's just their board is still threatening because of how many characters, right? You see they got a 6k character. Oh, we're going for life again. Once again, this will encourage a card out of hand. So this should go to character. Yes. So another card out of hand. So if it wasn't for that Weevil, they would be at 3 cards in hand right now. Not even. They also bounce some of their cards back. So they got definitely 2 offensive characters because they're not using Blackbeard to attack, right? So they definitely got 2 offensive characters here. Something we would need to be worried about. Yeah, okay, cool. I agree. It's like I wouldn't have been mad if I saw a defensive play, but I do agree. Yes, look at that blocker. They're low-key. No, they're not. I was going to say they're low-key in lethal range, but 4 cards is a little too many cards in hand. Like, if we knew what was in hand, obviously that can change everything, but we don't. And then, of course, there's triggers, right? There's triggers, like a bottom deck sort of trigger, or just getting more counter power. So, I can't call this lethal range. Well, no, you know what? My original thought was the banished text, so it is and it isn't. It just, it'll be leaning on the luck side. Yeah, tough. I hate being in situations like this. We have not been able to touch our 10 Don state. See, the 10 Don state is critical for any deck. It's very. I remember when Magellan decks was playing at like 7 Don. That was nuts. That's how they played. They were just like, yeah, we never hitting 10. We're just at 7. And I thought that was the way to go, you know, watching it being played like that. And of course, it never is. You want to hit 10 Don no matter what. Every deck wants. Oh, except for Rage. No, Rage. Even if Rage could hit 10 Don, Rage would be happy. It's just, you know, it's the journey to 10. So it's like, once your opponent's at 10, your Rage abilities are still good, except for the 2k counter, right? Is that part of the Vinspo thing? Or is that just, no, that's just Straw Hat, right? Okay, I don't know. I can't remember. Because at Sanji, you need to be 2 less than the opponent. I think everything else is either you have the same or less. Okay, so we're going for board. We still got a defensive event in hand. We have Kid to essentially help put the game in lethal territory. We have a blocker. They only got 1 card in hand, so hopefully this takes a character off the board. Yes, it does. So that has to be a brick. It has to be a brick. It has to be a brick. It has to be a brick. I wonder if Zoro Joro's there to... Oh, they're swinging with Blackbeard. So essentially, there's probably no more point in... what you call it? Whatever's in their hand or doing shenanigans. It would be at 0 cards, though. Because essentially, to gain the most benefit, you would have to play Blackbeard and... Okay, hold on. I want to see... Yeah. Yeah, there was a good chance. They had no counter power. Yep, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume it was probably Weevil in their hand at the time. Could have been Boa. I think she has no counter, to my knowledge. The next attack will be a 7k swing. I think you could technically just take the hit, and then you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 characters to attack with. Oh, that sucks. If we would have just took the hit way sooner. Boom. If we would have just took the hit way sooner, then we would have been able to just yeah, stop on the attack a lot sooner. Remember Zoro Joro ramps. We could have played the 2k counter first and just had an extra Dawn to spread out. Well, yeah, that should be game because the best they can do is 9k right now, and we have 2 attacks at that. And even with the small misplay, even without hitting 10 Dawn, we managed to beat a Doflamingo, right? Yeah, does that sound good? I think the deck is doing good. Well, G. Thanks for watching.